Make it loud for Eric Cota. Let's get him on up here. Eric. Don't fuck around, Eric.
Thank you. So I'm the halfway point. So if anyone still wants to go to the hotel and do meth, I am down to meet. I'm down to go. So legally, I'm considered unemployed, which is just like a low term. But I actually do have a full-time job, which is being a full-time hater. And people don't think that's a job, but it is. It's really hard work. Like, I will hate on anything and anyone if I can. Like, I literally have beef with a baby because I hate on him. I just hate attention seekers. I just cry all the time. But I was thinking the other day of something else I can hate on recently, and I was like, and it got to me, and I was like, yes. And I think I fucking hate wine bars in Los Angeles specifically. Does anyone else hate them? Clap if you hate wine bars. Thank you. Fuck wine bars. Like, I'll be on TikTok and it'll be like, you need to check out Echo Park's newest wine bar. Like, no the fuck we don't, actually. Like, we do not need to be going to wine bars. We need like a Walmart. Like, that's what we need. And I'll explain why I hate wine bars. Firstly, the server or bartender will fucking hate you for no reason. Like, you'll walk in, they're like, and if they have this haircut, and Steph would like to demonstrate, fucking run, because you're gonna get the worst service. Like, rule of thumb, if your server looks like Shelley Duvall's cunt little sister, just leave the establishment. Like, you're not getting you're gonna get bad service. Also, the wine is not that great. It kind of reminds me of the wine that you have in church for like your communion. Like, my bad, I don't think I should be paying $15 for wine that tastes like the blood of Christ. And then they'll justify it by saying some shit like, well, the winery is women-owned. And I'm like, who the fuck is the woman? Mary Magdalene? And if they have food, which they usually don't, for some reason, there's always like mushroom in every fucking thing, like mushroom risotto, mushroom this. And I'm like, okay, I didn't know this like Last of Us themed menus here. I'm like sitting there eating my fucking $10 mushroom taco like a clicker. I'm like, another thing I hate is being gay. But not because I'm like internally homophobic, but I just hate being attracted to men. No offense to anyone, but it's just like they're so stinky sometimes. One thing I hate specifically is shower sex with men. And that's a thing that you have to happen eventually if you're gay. Because it's always like the motherfuckers that are built like a linebacker that want to have shower sex with you in like a small shower. And it just, like, seeing a guy wipe his ass in a shower just doesn't do anything for me. So, like, I'm not like, my bad, I don't, and, like, that's me time. Like, that's when I talk to myself and, like, go over those scenarios where I wish I was meaner, is in the shower. And I've even had a guy get, like, pissed off that I didn't like the intimacy of a fucking, like, shower sex. And I was like, I didn't know I was dating, like, Jodi Arias. Because she killed her husband in the shower. Queen. Yeah, also, the thing about men is, like, men are so fucking mean. Like, I've been insulted by men so many different times, like, different ways. Like, one time a guy said that I look like Shrek when he becomes a human. Which is not a compliment. Someone was like, that's a good thing. No. It's not. I don't see the fun in it. And then, like, guys are getting clever at insulting you. Like, I had a guy fat shame me using time periods, which you were like, how does that happen? Well, we were doing it, and he's like, you know, you have a 1920s body. And I was like, in my head, like, okay, like, I don't, didn't ask. And he's like, look, and like, elaborates. and shows me like this like bodybuilder on the beach with like a pudgy body, and I was like, thanks for using like The Great Gatsby to tell me I have an average body. I guess if we're going there, he had like a Confederacy Union, like Civil War body, but whatever. Asshole. Sometimes I get so high and I start talking to myself, and sometimes I go so far that I start like interviewing myself. It's embarrassing, but I do like those 73 question like Vogue interviews, and I'll ask myself such stupid questions. And the other day I thought, if I were a celebrity having sex, what celebrity do I see myself as in bed? Which I know, random, right? But I was like, I think I would be like Bradley Cooper, because he like gives his all in every role that he does, and like no one gives a fuck. But then I was like, I can't be Bradley Cooper because I don't like giving blowjobs, so I can't be him. Bradley Cooper fans, everyone's like, oh. So I thought more, and I was like, I feel like I would be Stephen Hawking. Hear me out. I feel like he was just the biggest pillow princess. Like, he just would lay back, and his wife would just go down on those wires. Like, fuck the malware up. Like, you know, the text-to-speech was glitching so bad, he started sounding like some 80s freestyle song. He's like, I need you. And for people like mad at me, he was on Epstein's Island, so let's go there. You know, he was like fucking wheeling around that island like fucking Mario Kart. Fucking a Rainbow Road, just going. Speaking of pervs, has anyone watched the Dan Schneider documentary? Yes. Fucking crazy, right? For those of you who don't know, Dan Schneider was like the exec producer at like a bunch of Nickelodeon shows, and it was crazy. There's all this shit happened. But my mom watched it, and somehow she made it about herself. And she was like, Eric, when you were a child actor, I protected you from guys like that. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I was Snoopy in like the middle school production of, like you're using child actor very loosely. Like, it wasn't like Amanda Bynes, Drake Bell, Eric Cota. Like, I think I was fine. But she gets her, like, my mom's iconic, and I think she gets her sense of humor from my grandma. My grandma's Mexican, but she's not like the stereotypical nice abuelita that you think of. Like, I don't have the Mama Coco grandma. I have like the grandma from the George Lopez show. But her thing is like, she loves to be like, tell people when a celebrity has died. She's like on the River Styx. And like when Michael Jackson died, the glint in her eyes was so, she was like, he died. He's dead. I was like, but she called me to tell me recently that Queen Elizabeth died. And she like was telling me, of course, she was like so quick, and then she adds like her own commentary. She was like, you know, I always respected her. As women, we do so much for the world. I relate to her because we're always put on a pedestal for men. And I was like, okay. Of all women, I don't think that Queen Elizabeth is someone that you can relate to. Like, she was the Queen of England, and you were like the school bus driver. Like, there's not much overlap. But anyways, that's my time. Thank you.